Welcome to the third round of my UR Krark Delver League. You might notice that I'm a bit louder than my last video. I got some feedback that was a bit soft, so I added some gain to my mic. I hope this helps. Yes, I would like to be on the play. We have a cantrip, no protection, but we do have a removal spell and a blue spell and young pyromancer. So I'm going to keep this. And just ponder on turn 1, see if we can find a force and some other good cards to have some protection here. Ideally a daze maybe, since I'm not anticipating encountering something on turn 1. But of course, no clue what our opponent is playing. But let's see. So we did find a daze and a force of will. I think this can be good enough. We're not drawing the land. We have 2 more lands. I'm gonna draw the. Let's see. Are there turn 1 plays I want to force where daze isn't good? It's combo decks that make more mana on turn 1. I really want to curve into young pyromancer, but if there's an important turn 1 play, yeah, I think curving out is too important. So I'm just gonna draw the force first. It's not ideal. I hate 2 for 1ing myself, but not getting any pressure going if our opponent is a deck that plays spells that we really want to counter. I think that's worse. So I'd rather just have the daze now. Fetch the other fetchland away. Now this is a wasteland deck, but we need the red, so we have to take the volcanic island here. And now we have daze and force of will up and the lightning bolt. If there's something that the Killing Wish could be good against, we can look at that next turn since we don't have much other plays here. Like turning this and the lightning bolt into a pyrokinesis could be good, or in this case, especially when they go for a lot of non-basic lands, we might have to get a big damage spell here with Price of Progress. So I could daze here. It puts on some pressure. It does mean that we can't Cunning Wish next turn, or we could just let this resolve, Cunning Wish for surgical extraction, and get rid of the loam like that. Gives them a land, but that does gives us 2 spells. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'll just let this resolve and get rid of their life from the loams. I mean, Price of Progress is good and all, but I think it's more important just not to have them get their recursion going. Not the ideal draw, but it's just a blue card for the force of will if our daze does find something to do. I'm just gonna do this now. There's no sense in waiting for the draw step since they might return their life from the loam. So I think I want a second red here just to make their wastelands worse. Yes, I do want to use my Cunning Wish, that's why I cast it. Like Submerge could be good at some point, but I think it's just more important to keep them off from life from loaming here. So I'm just gonna do that. Pay some life, get another token, see what they are working with. So their hand is a bunch of lands and Elvish Reclaimer, so I definitely want to fight over Elvish Reclaimer. Luckily we can still bolt it probably. Remove their life from the loams. Note to get the one in the graveyard. Take a quick screenshot just in case we need the information. And go to our text tab. So now looking at their deck list, they do not have any other form of recursion in their main deck. And we're running out of maze of it. It's just for the protection, but we can still bolt this, so that's definitely what we're going to do. Yeah, that is resolve. So they played their maze of it. They have a lot of decent utility lands in their hand. Let's see, we draw the Chain Lightning. They don't have 2 red up yet, so I definitely want the Chain Lightning while we'll still can. And just, okay, this is good. They had all lands in their hand, and while the lands that they had were good, they didn't have a Dark Depths. And it would take them multiple turns to get going. So I don't think they were out of the game yet. If they top deck Dark Depths, they have 2 turns to get it going. Then they make a 20/20 and we need an answer to that because we can't raise it. Since this is only 3-4 damage, maybe 5 a turn. And so if they top deck the Dark Depths, I think they're in time. Okay. So we saw their deck. They're basically just let me show you guys. So they're basically just lands with Reclaimer. I see 3 Reclaimers here, 2 Valakut, Exploration, 3 Punching Fires, and 2 Libraries. Now we can't do anything about enchantment, so just Exploration, Libraries, Valakut, Exploration. Only way we have to interact with those is on the stack. And if 2 Dark Depths with, I guess, a full set of stages, yeah, bunch of ports, wasteland. So only 1 basic land, and they had 1 in play. So let's see what we want to do about it. I sure want to submerge. I think it's just better than to keep it as a Cunning Wish target. Sometimes we really want to have it early. Price, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about, so I'm gonna board in the Relic for sure. They're not a blue build, so I don't want the Pyroblast or anything. Consider Abrades if we have enough bad cards to board out. Force of Negation is good against their Life from the Loam, and we could consider boarding in 1 Surgical Extraction. Now Pyrokinesis does deal with a Elvish Reclaimer, which our Lightning Bolts and stuff don't do. So you may have to consider that. I for sure want the Force of Negation and the Surgical Extraction. I think Force of Wills are good enough just because they don't have a lot of spells, but spells they do have are very important. I like Krark. I'm not that high on Flusterstorm. And so we can keep the Cunning Wish for Price of Progress or just half the Price of Progress. I think this is better. We still have Surgical Extraction and Removal if we want to find something with this and have the Archive Trap plan against them. So that remains like 1 Lightning Bolt versus the Abrade, and I think I like having the Abrade better here. So we still have an Abrade and a Lightning Bolt to get what our wishes, and having a Abrade for some random artifacts that I can have in addition to just hitting their Mox Diamonds. In general, I like having a build with a lot of young Pyromancers in it, since I think those are good versus lands. See here, we're very low on lands. We don't have any counters for their early stuff. We do have 2 Delvers, which is a great way to pressure them. But a Surgical Extraction without any counter spells, that doesn't sound that good to me. Let's see. So these cards are good. These 4. The Kraken in my early end isn't good. The Braid isn't that great. And the Surgical is a bit short without any counters. Yeah, we also don't have any cantrips to look for other stuff. I think this is too risky. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think it's close. Oh, this is rough. So they went to 5 now, which makes it a bit more appealing. to keep a worse hand, but we also really want the pressure. So I'm gonna mulligan again. These 7 fresh cards, and this is a lot better. So I want to keep Delver's Secrets, Force of Negation, and blue card, but I have to put 2 cards back. So I'm for sure gonna put the Krark back, since early in the game it's just not the best card. I really do like having Force of Negation, since one of the ways for them to get back is to have a high impact Life from the Loam. But at that point, I'm either keeping Ponder for Force of Negation, and then if I don't have to Force, I can find another land with it for the Dread Arcanist, or I can just put away the Dread Arcanist and rely on my Delver, but do have 2 lands. I don't want to get rid of the Delver. I think I could do that, since Ponder Dread Arcanist is of course the best way to get card advantage back. Yeah, what I'm gonna do, I think, a bit more risky, but just get rid of the Volcanic Island, I think. Since the Dread Arcanist is so good at getting my land back, and then I might cast the Ponder on turn 1, depending on what I draw. Yeah, and then maybe keep the Delver for the Force of Negation. This is depending on what they do on turn 1 and what I draw, but especially if I get more information, I might just Ponder for a land and rely on the Dread Arcanist. So because I have a Force of Negation for the Life of the Loam, this is fine for me. This is card disadvantage as long as they can't loan this back. So they didn't cast anything, which is interesting. Since they don't have that many tree drops. They might just be slow rolling Life from the Loam, but it's a weird play. So we have a land. It's a bit awkward since we can't really fetch for a Volcanic Island here to have cast Dread Arcanist of these 2 lands, since we really do want to get something going. Because we drew the second land, I am gonna run out the Delver of Secrets. I don't have to Ponder for the Force of Negation, because I'm not gonna get a red with this one, since I already showed the Wasteland. If they played another land and I didn't know for sure they had the Wasteland yet, I might consider making a different play. But here I just want to go for a Delver. So one of the things they could have, of course, is Prinching Fire, which would be probably the best thing they could have. Just end of turn Prinching Fire and return it. Okay, so their plan is to go on the mana denial. I'm curious why they played the Mox Diamond on turn 1. I'm gonna reveal the days. And I think this is interesting. I know they have the Wasteland for my Carcass, so I'm not gonna be able to keep the Carcass around for a long time in order to stop their Marlagen. But they haven't played either Stage or Depths yet, and it is good to make my land drops, especially since I want to keep them low in mana. If I can counter their Life from the Loam, that's very good for me. Yeah, I don't think this game goes long enough to a point where I can get the Carcass to hit on their Marilaga, so I'm just gonna cast it, or just gonna play it. Let them use their Wasteland and just fight over their Life from the Loam. I want them to be low in mana too, so I can daze something effectively and get my land drop and cast a Ponder after the daze. So I don't want to use the daze without being able to counter anything. Now it's unlikely that I will be, since I have a lot of 2 drops, but it's gonna get tapped again, which is fine as long as they're using their mana for that. Good for me. So now it gets interesting. So I want red for my Dread Arcanist. I'm gonna start red, since if they play anything and I can daze it, I want to make this land drop over anything else. Didn't. So I can play a Ponder here, which gets me deeper into the deck. And I could do that with a volcanic island, force them to wasteland this, and if they want to keep me stuck on mana, they're gonna keep using their lands, which is certainly efficacious. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play the scalding turn and say go. I think it would be good to get the Ponder off, but if they're keeping my lands tapped just to if they're keeping my lands tapped, it's probably good for me. So here they're gonna tap my island again. Yeah, maybe that was bad. Maybe I should just have gone for the Ponder to make more land drops. But well, sometimes you get rewarded for making stupid plays, I guess. Now I don't think there's a way they can make a 2020 now. I'm gonna want to use this Ponder next turn to get to my Submerge. Try to find that. But for now, I'm just gonna get 2 more basics and get a Dread Arcanist out there, so I can double up on my Ponder next turn. I don't need it for the 4. And it doesn't really matter in this matchup, but the way I fetch is usually by keeping in mind, do I want to replay the land that I already have in play? If I daze here, what does this cost me? In this case, if they had a Stifle, I would love to just bounce the land I already had and replay that and keep the fresh land in hand. Grasping Dunes, putting a Mindful Minds counter on the Dread Arcanist. Yeah, okay, that's annoying. So we're not doubling up on our Ponder this turn. They're tapping my red. Yeah, that's fine. Krark. Oh, you're a bit late. Well, late, maybe not, but not useful here at least. Let's just go for the Ponder, see what we find. So I need the pressure. I'm gonna put them to 9 this turn. Even if both of my next turn I'm gonna attack for 6 if they have nothing. Put them to 3. I don't have bolts in my deck at the moment, so I have 1, I believe. Let's see. Bolt, G9. Yeah, I have 1 bolt remaining, so I can't count on that. But it's about like playing a second Delver that's gonna flip through my Ponder. Makes it harder for them to stabilize, and can get lethal through a 2020. If that's only 1 blocker, if they don't have it next turn, I get them to 3, and then that's enough. So I think that's good enough. I really don't want the Dread Arcanist, but I do like the pressure and the Ponder on top. They're gonna run out of Delver here, it's fine. There's anything here, and keep the Dread Arcanist. So they do have the 2020, and they don't have a forest yet, so that's gonna be annoying. So I'm gonna reveal this, flip this Delver, and what else here? Surgical my Ponder before my draw step. Now that's a mistake. That puts him to 6. Alright. Gets the Ponder from the top of my library. Okay. I should have done that after I drew the card. Then oh wait, they didn't go to 6. My mistake. I'm gonna copy it now. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. Used our Carcass. I don't think we have many outs, except for trying to kill them next turn. So if we play our Krark, we have 5 points of damage in play. So we block 1, we attack back for 5, jump to 3, and if we find our only lightning bolt, we have an out. Don't think we can do better than that. Like attacking here just costs us a turn and doesn't deal any additional damage, and we can always hope we can find something like Price of Progress. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Maybe it was just wrong playing the characters early. That I had to keep it around for a turn like this, where I could have just played it, attacked everything. So definitely countering that. What's the best way to do that? Doesn't really matter. I guess Daze is the best card to have remaining, since we really have to get something off the top anyway, so we won't have a blue card just to pitch to. No, I'm just gonna do it. Works. Yeah, we countered it twice. Great. So if we find a cantrip and we can double it up with Krark, we can find both a red land and a spell to kill them. So there's still hope. A lot. Anyway, so we get the block in next turn. But you won't have mana after casting the Cunning Wish. Yeah, I don't think that does it, but well, we have no choice here. We'll just do attack with the Krark, keep this one back to block it, and go from there. They might be silly enough to pitch in our next turn. No clue. I can get a lightning bolt with this if this works. And then if we top deck a red land, we have an out. But that does mean we have to top deck the land and flip correct twice. So if we don't do this here, we need to find a cantrip, have 2 hits on that, then find a red land and the one-off bolt we have in our deck. If we do Cunning Wish, this doesn't hit players, right? We're gonna hit a red land and then hit. I think that's the best we can do. No way I get to archive trap them. Surgical doesn't do anything, and I don't have a amount of anything else. So I'm just gonna wish here, see if it works. Okay, we get 2 cards. So I will get lightning bolt that I would need to kill them. I'm going to get the surgical extraction to see their post-mortem configuration, I think. Yeah, I don't think getting anything else here does more for us. Okay, need to hit a red land and flip correctly. There's another red land. I want to see that. Let's see what they have. They had nothing in hand. For a maze. They boarded in 2 chokes, 2 Veil of Summers. And I'm just dead here. I think this was our best out from this position, but yeah, it wasn't great. I think the big decision point here was the Carcass. In the early game, it was a bit of a weird game since they didn't have anything we could like force. Anything important. I do want to keep them all in, of course, since all their best cards are still like Joke, Valakut Exploration, Exploration, that kind of cards. Looking at their post-board deck, their only hit on Braid is Mox Diamond. So I don't want a Braid in my deck. So that means I could have another Surgical Extraction or get one of the Lightning Bolts back in my deck. I think that should be better. They boarded out all of their creatures though, so they didn't have any targets anymore, but they did see my post-board configurations, so they know that I boarded out my Lightning Bolts. Oh wait, I'm lying, they did still have their Elvish Reclaimers in there. Is there anything I want to change here? Maybe the Abrade is just better. Just Mox Diamond. They had Force of Vigor and Surgical Extraction in their deck. Yeah, I do like hitting the diamonds. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this anyway. Like I had it for game 1 and 2. Just hitting a Mox Diamond in addition to hitting an early Elvish Reclaimer, I think is good enough. To have it over the Lightning Bolt. But, well, you saw it in the game there. A Lightning Bolt can finish a game when it's close on life totals. It's very rough to have this version of the deck that doesn't have all the doesn't have wastelands basically. Wow. There fetches in here. I would snap keep. As is. Force Navigation is a really good card for them. I do have to brainstorm. We have like if I fire it off on turn 2, we have 5 looks at a fetch land. Don't have any pressure. Don't have any other. Yeah, I want to mulligan this. I'm gonna keep this. It's not much better, but I don't want to go lower. I like fetch lands. Don't necessarily need the volcanic. Just gonna run out the island. Yeah, maybe the first hand was better. I certainly wouldn't mulligan that if that was on 6 cards. Then I would put back a volcanic island and go from there. So if they Mox Diamond again, I am gonna let it resolve. I think sometimes it's correct to fight over their mana, but I think it cost me too much. So they have a Chasm in the graveyard and Exploration. Exploration isn't that great if they can't get Life from the Loam going, and they don't have any other way to recur their stuff in their deck. Sylvan Library gets them a lot of land drops, and Valakut Exploration can get them a lot of land drops. But nothing that does it consistently like Life from the Loam does. Yeah, I think I'd rather fight over the Loam than over the Exploration. Yeah, this might be wrong, but I don't have that many resources to work with here. Oh, I got punished for the island. That's rough. Oh, maybe we can fire off a cantrip first then. That's surgical. Yeah, not ideal. Let's just pass it through. Since you already reserved this for their life from the loam, isn't that great to draw date here? Tabernacle. Yeah, just one land drop, so that's good for us. Here, probably just tap it down the island again. Yeah, that's fine. The Dread Horde. I'm just gonna get basics here. They do have a single Ghost Quarter in the deck, but they're only gonna get to do it once, and they have a lot more wastelands, I think. Yeah, so just gonna go for basics. Does make my mana a bit tight on the Dread Arcanist, but getting wastelanded while I have Tabernacle out is really rough. So. Yeah, if they didn't have more lands, I'm gonna put this would do. Yes, I'm probably gonna tap down my other chunk of island. They did. And punished. Okay. Gonna straighten up my game a bit here. I'm just gonna get in for one. And next turn I'll swap my payment of the Dread Arcanist around. That was bad. I was hoping that if I draw any land I could play a second Dread Arcanist, but yeah, it's worse than keeping the mana for a cantrip open. Especially since I already have one of my Arcanists. Island. More land. That's good. I do like getting the double up ponder off here instead of casting the other Arcanist, so we're just gonna do that. Another force negation. Yeah, I think I need pressure or something that does more than another counter. I do think another counter is good, so I could draw just a force negation and then run out the Scalding Tarn and fetch the other two away. That's better than a random card. Like I'm looking for pressure, something like Delver. And their best cards are cards I can force for negation. Except for Elvish Claimer, but I can keep their graveyard small for a while. Yeah, I think I do like having the force of negation. No. Now I'm gonna shuffle my library before I cast a second one. I'm gonna surgical my ponder. Okay, so they do have mana open. Really need to find some cards, but I don't think I can give up 2 cards just to check this. So that's okay. Not great, but I don't think I can fight over this. And I hope I find more cantrips. Oh, and I'm gonna really need to speed up my play. Been talking a lot. Only now seeing that I'm down to 5 minutes. So I'm definitely gonna speed it up. Gonna do the same thing as last turn and set this one for that one. I'm definitely gonna counter the life from the loam. I think I could get rid of their wastelands. Or just let this resolve. They have a chasm and a wasteland. And then a surgical their life from the loams. Kind of tight on mana now. I said I was gonna play faster. This is not playing faster. Yeah, this is okay. I'm just gonna surgical that. Hope they don't have a cycling. Gonna do now. if there's a reason to do something with the Mox Diamond. They have the pinching fire, they have operation. Sure, I'm just gonna let this resolve. Yes. It is. Tabernacle is so annoying when you're low on time, but well, that's my own fault. Let's see. Draw. Krark. Great. Attack. Turn. I don't want to search for anything they have at the moment. No. Really need to get a clock going. Alright. Field of Ruin, which they can wasteland. Anything, and they don't have ways to get their wasteland back, so maybe I can protect the red source by running this out now. Yeah, that's fine. Copy port. Okay. Maybe I should have cast that there. Get rid of their wastelands for my future volcanics. Yeah, screw this game up. Choke. That's not a horrible plan. Gonna get the creature with more power out. I'm just gonna F6. They don't know that I have nothing, but I can't use time on that. 5 in there. Do something. Wait, yeah, I knew they had to put fire. Okay, now I'm really screwing up. Is it? So can I get 15 attacks in before I run out of stuff? That's the question. More time to do. Please. Oh, need to attack into their maze of it. Oh, shield. This. Down. Every turn as well their stuff. Now we'll cast a brainstorm here. I found a carcass. I think that's good. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Oh, I did one mistake. I should have kept a second brainstorm here so I can use this mana. attack with these two, target the brainstorm, surgical, okay, he's gonna cast surgical, I think. I was like, so stops targeting it, but I have brainstorms to target now. Cast this card, days, land back. I should have surgical, there are wastelands there. I have 0 time to think, and I'm gonna narrate what I'm doing. I'm not used to that. I really need to find my price of progress, which I guess is my best out here. Brainstorm again. Here, I guess lightning bolt is good. Like that. I'm just gonna brainstorm from that since I don't have enough time. Find more cards. I just really need to brainstorm to hit right away. There's no there, that would have been bad. Price of progress. Do it. There's that would land. It. Let's put back a force. I'm gonna surgical their wasteland and run out of time. That, okay. Get the damage in. Run out. I think between them not having wastelands, me having a Caracas, and having you out to find the price of progress, I was close. I did just notice way too late how low in time I was. This is not this is new for me. Trying to talk through my plays while also noticing everything that's going outside of the game like the time. I hope you enjoyed this game anyway. Gonna take a short break, so just gonna post a one match again. Yeah, I think this game was fun. I think I played very poorly, especially when I got low on time. I had outs here, but didn't optimize it for sure. So, I'll see you next time.